Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 here in our 2015 Nissan Pathfinder. Now this guy is going to be an excellent, sleek looking way of getting your bikes to wherever your destination might take you. Right out of the gate, you are going to get a very nice looking bike rack. Today we have the gunmetal gray, getting those nice copper orange accents throughout it. However, it does also have a lot of capabilities as well as it has style. So you are getting a very nice ratcheting arm system here on those front wheel mounts. This thing works great, just ratchets down, won't be popping up. And I really like how there's not a lot of play in there. You know it's going to be holding up quite well for you for years to come. Taking a look at the platform itself, though, not going to be the widest platform out there, and that does kind of signify its carrying capabilities. With a 40-pound capacity per bike, we're not going to get some of those bigger, heavier bikes on this guy, but we are going to have a fine time getting those standard and even those mountain bikes up on here. Take a look at the cradles, though. As you can see, not going to be the widest, only about 3 inches on this inside of that cradle. You're going to have that nice 18C standard groove there, though, for your tires. Now, the strips themselves, too, aren't going to be the tallest, so if you're looking away, transporting your fat back tires, again, you might have a little bit of issues with that. Of course, you can always pick up a fat tire bike adapter. However, that just is increasing that price point for us today. On the front cradle too, you are going to see that come up. I really like that because even if you have a slightly longer bike that's hanging off just a little bit, we've seen a few of them, they do hang in here very well because of that front cradle. So it's not going to be something where we're worried about the bike rolling off and coming undone on those straps. So I do like to see that. On the inside, too, you are going to get an integrated cable locking core. So that's going to be great for that cable lock that can go through both of your bikes right here on the end. I like how it's on the front because a lot of times you start seeing them being put on either the middle or the back end of the carrier. And then honestly, those become a pain, especially as you get 2 bikes loaded up on here. So love to see it on the front. Talking about it though, as you guys can see, we do have a tire hold format here today. So it's going to be great for carrying your carbon frame bikes as we're not going to have any kind of frame warping or deterioration as we are holding on that front wheel. Now a lot of times too with carriage, you have to be worried about that middle frame attachment. Today, we're not going to have any trouble getting those women bikes, step-through bikes, and a host of different bikes up on this side because of that tire hold. Now, one great thing about this guy, though, is we can actually tilt this away from our vehicle without actually having to remove our bikes. Now, the Pathfinder can lose a lot of cargo space when you get all three rows of seats set up. However, still a pretty decent little space in the back here that we want to access. To do so, I just simply press on that lever, walk it down, and look how easy it is to get to my hatch, right? Now I can get those coolers, bike helmets, anything I might need from the back here. Now, of course, when you get those 3 up, you're going to lose a little cargo space in there, but still nice to see that we have full access to the back of that. Just to give you guys a better idea of how we made that happen, there's that lever I was pulling. You just simply pull it down. But to walk it up, it's even easier. We can leave that lever where it is and simply bring our mast up. It's going to go ahead and click in place. No pins or clips that I have to worry about. Really nice, user-friendly little setup right there. Now, before I get the bike off and put it away, I want to go ahead and give us a quick little clearance dimension. Now, this is going to be important when you are transporting your bikes. We don't want this making contact with the ground, creating a bad time for our bikes overall. So from the very end of our carrier here to the ground is putting us exactly at 22 inches there. So pretty good spread, honestly, on that height. Nothing I'm going to be too worried about. We have a pretty nice rise in our carrier itself, and as well as we aren't too far from the rear of our vehicle. Just keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down. This will be your hitch-mounted accessory. So just something to be conscious of. To take our bike off, though, isn't going to take me any time at all. I'm just going to come right here to the strip and take this guy out like so. Nothing too crazy on here. Going to get a little bit of a softer rubber matting on the inside, and that's just going to prevent any kind of damage to our rims as we do get this guy mounted on here. Now, before you take the bike off, taking a look here, you're not seeing too much interaction with the bike and the vehicle itself. Our taillights are going to be out to the side, which I think is a big advantage of the Sherpa because it is a little bit smaller than you might see some other tray-style carriers out there. Well, that does bring us to our last point here, so I make sure I have a good hand on my bike. Don't want that tilting to the vehicle or ourselves. Come right back up to our ergonomic grip, press in on our lever, and bring our arm up and to the side. And now I can simply grab my bike and walk it off. So, very, very easy system to use, which you love to see. So we want to get riding as fast as we can. To bring our arm in, it's going to take any time. We simply bring it up and over and can reinsert our strips as well and bringing down our front cradle. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, you are going to be adding a little bit of length to your vehicle. Now, the Pathfinder, not the longest guy, definitely not the shortest one out there either. So let's go ahead and see what we are working with exactly. from the rear of the bumper to the very end of our carrier is putting us right under 33 inches. So about 32 3/4 inches of extra length being added on to this guy. So not the worst I've seen out there, but we do have a way of quickly shortening it down. We're gonna come right back to that lever system we utilized earlier to tilt away. And instead of allowing the mast to go down, I'm gonna bring it right up against my vehicle here. So as you can see, that's gonna cut down a lot of that space. One thing I like to take note of here, some things you might be worried about are these arms coming in contact with our vehicle. As you can see though, has a very good resistance. It takes me a lot to actually move this guy. So even if we are just kind of rattling around here, not gonna be having this guy move and making contact with our carrier. To give us an idea of what we're working with though, from the back of our bumper to the closest point of contact is gonna put us right at 4.5 inches there. And for our maximum length from the rear of our bumper to our anti-rattle device, it's putting us exactly at 15.5 inches. So more than half of that space has been shortened down by this maneuver. Now we get this in the garage, or at least a lot more maneuverability when we want to go and park this guy. Moving our way to the inside though, you are going to see we have a 2-inch shank here today, and we're utilizing our 2-inch receiver here on our Pathfinder. On the inside, you're just going to get a little alignment pin here, and on the very inside too, you are getting an included locking core here to make sure that our carrier stays attached to our vehicle. Now that will be key to like to that integrated cable core that we broke down earlier in the video. So nice if you're like me, a little forgetful, only have to keep track of one key. Now, a lot of times you start seeing anti-rattle threaded hitch bolts being the standard to make sure all these carriers are secured to our vehicle. But today, we actually have a little bit of a better system in my opinion. Right here on the end, you are going to see this anti-rattle knob. Now, this guy makes it extremely easy to really reduce the play that our carrier is going to have. On the inside of our receiver, we have a little cam that's pressing up against it, and that's basically just bringing this all in line to one system. So as I give this guy a shake, you're seeing that entire vehicle move. That means we're taking the play out, thinking for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves in the driver's seat, but of course, our bike carrier, and especially our bikes, which you love to see. And one last little thing on that guy, you're going to see that little included Allen wrench hole. What this guy's great for is to take that included Allen wrench and really tighten it down. If you find yourself going on longer car rides, big road trips, it can be nice to cinch that down. That way we're not having to check it every 50 miles. We'll know it'll be nice and secure. Well, I think the Sherpa really starts speaking for itself, right? I mean, it's got the looks, it's got the capabilities, it's got pretty much everything you want from a platform-style carrier. Now, the only thing with it, if you are looking for a higher weight capacity, I might recommend taking a look at the Kuat Envy. If you really like the style, that's going to put you upwards about 60 pounds capacity per bike. And even that, you can extend it to a 4-bike version. So if you're wanting something bigger, beefier, that can be a great option. Now, if you do like this guy, though, and you're not the biggest fan of the gunmetal gray, you can always check out our pearl and black colors that are going to be very, very nice, depending on what kind of vehicle color you guys have. So I think that about does it for a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 here on our 2015 Nissan Pathfinder. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. So we can see here how the bike rack moves with our truck.